Hello ladies, Dr. Palermo with a week 4 video for the 708 crew, Janet and Jody and Natalie. Hello. Readings this week in Black, Assessment for Learning, Chapter 3. In Lorna Earl, Assessment as Learning, Chapter 4 to 6, 4, 5, and 6. And in Standards, Chapter 2 on reliability. You should be looking over Ainsworth Rigorous Curriculum Design, the whole Part 3 of that textbook, please, as you plan your curriculum development project. But in particular, here is what you should do and want to respond to in terms of dialogue posts. After you do read Chapter 2 in the Standards book and think a little bit about reliability, please respond to one of these prompts. As a teacher, it's important for me to remember and practice the following with regards to reliability. So how does reliability touch you in the classroom as a teacher? Or as a researcher, it's important for me to remember and practice the following with regards to reliability. So I want you to apply your definition and understanding of reliability either to your work in school or to your research, and you do not need to respond to somebody else to demonstrate to me that you understand what reliability is. Okay. I closed 2 discussion boards because I think this Earl discussion is really going to take some time, and to do it well will either benefit you on one of your projects, PLCP or the CDP perhaps. But in Lorna Earl, she's describing in general a practice that you may be following as part of your work now. If you're not, I want you to practice it. Here you're asked to serve as a mentor to one or more teachers and to analyze an assessment task to identify prerequisite learning embedded in the task. Well, I want you to spend some time analyzing student work with a colleague or two. Again, if you do this normally through your PCP, if you do this as part of the plan for the CDP, embed that and multi-purpose this task, but describe for us, please, how you have worked with others to identify student work, to look at student work, and to identify misconceptions or lack of prerequisite knowledge for the task. Discuss with others, what does the student need, what are they lacking, how might they get this information, what instructional strategies could be used to scaffold the learning for students, and write about it. Write about it, please. So I guess I'm really asking you to spend a good chunk of your time this week on Lorna Earl's chapter 4 through 6 and in responding to this discussion post. And please do respond to each other. I know it's just 3 of you, but respond to one another on that, please. Again, how are you examining work, helping teachers decide whether students have mastered or had the prerequisite knowledge, and then what would you do? It's essentially the 4 questions put into action. I want you to see that I have closed, and that you won't see these in your view, a discussion post on Black Chapter 3, and I did not include this about Ainsworth and your CDP A and B, but I do want you to think about your Ainsworth text and how you're using it to design your CDP. So do stick your toe back into that, into the Ainsworth text, please. And you have something else to write this week. So big chunk on that formative feedback to teachers, but how's it going on your PLCPA? I want some formative feedback, please. I want to see some of the writing that you're doing. This really is part 1 of your PLCPB. Take the opportunity to review the rubric, ensuring that you're documenting the facilitation of colleagues as described in the evidence. So what's going on with your PLCP, and how are you leading others in your through your evidence? So you can hopefully write this and then incorporate it in your PLCP. Talk about something you did last week, writing about the changes that you've made already and how the action plan for your PLCP is changing perhaps. Talk about what you're doing to facilitate collaboration along with your PLCP, please. So some reading this week and 2 posts that I hope will be helpful to you in your writing of your PLCP and CDP. Multi-purpose these posts, please. Use APA, and then if this shows up later in your evidence, more to the point. Good job. I do want to say, since I didn't create a video for 707, keep writing and working on those pre-proposals and proposals. A shout out to Natalie O. You did a nice job on your pre-proposal, Natalie. There is an APA quiz in the 707 that if you don't do it this week, we'll come back to it in our next face-to-face. Check yourself. I didn't ask you to post your response there, but check yourself on that APA quiz to see if you know how to cite things properly. Thanks. That's all for this week. Hope you have a great week. Write to me. Call me if you have any questions.